is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves them with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
All right, here we go.
From the gun, it's Rosen. Forced out to his left. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Oh, and after the sack, he's still down on the field. We'll take a break and get a report from Oakland after this.
Gun, gun! Gun, gun! Leopard! Leopard! Gun, gun! Gun, gun!
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. That makes him now 0 for 2 here in the first quarter on 3rd down conversions.
And now they'll look to their defense because they need them to step up so they don't fall further behind here in the early going.
And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Ezekiel Elliott going to take it the distance. And he's going to have this down deep into Oakland territory. A big run that time by Elliott. 62 yards on the ground. So from their own 20 all the way to the red zone now. A chance to capitalize on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Goff. Drops it underneath to Elliott. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down.
But it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Set! Blue 90! Blue 90! Gun, gun! Gun, gun!
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget.
Patriot! Patriot! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Watch him now, Barney. Barney.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. He may try and run for this. Give him 9 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
I thought he did a pretty good job there to get back what he could, but let's face it, that sack on 2nd down, talk about throwing a wrench into the works. It certainly did.
Yeah, he did everything he could there trying to pick up some positive yardage, and he did, but not enough. And Bullock will put this one through, and the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
So out come the Raiders. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Anthony Brown. And he's going to get this on down to the 13-yard line. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Here we go. Ric Flair.
On 2nd down, Elliott. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal.
What we're seeing from the defense here is a group of guys bearing down, trying to help out their quarterback after he threw an interception. Good stops on the first 2 downs. It brings up a key 3rd down.
They'll try to run it in with Elliott. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown,
you want 2.
You're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get the 2nd one.
He's going to get it running right. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. This Raider defense not giving in. They'll try to hold once more on 3rd and goal. Here's Elliott. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage. Back to the 4-yard line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
They might think about going for it here, but it's still just the 2nd quarter. Take the 3 points, tell the defense you believe in them, and let them get the ball back for you.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And last time, 1 play interception, so this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling, because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you got a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
And throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Detroit!
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. DJ Reader able to get in there and drop him behind the line.
Lucky 56.
They'll set up to throw. Flushed out right. On the run, he'll let it go deep, right sideline. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
An attempt at a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. With it is Brown. That's a 43-yard punt, aided as well by a loss on the return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
4 to go. 20. 5. DC. Value 3.
Gone. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. A shotgun snap for Gone. Looking downfield for Jones. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
And he'll be just shy of the 20 at the 19 as he goes out of bounds. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
Here's a give to Richard. And now a fumble. The ball's out, and the Cowboys have recovered.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there.
And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott with touchdown number 2 in the game and now 11 on the year. And the Cowboys will extend their lead. Now Bullock to add the extra point. Extra point up and good by Bullock. And the route is on here in this first half. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive. But they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally you know me. You've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Eluded, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. David Irving in there to get him for what will be a loss of 13 yards. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
Detroit! Set! Blue 90! Blue 90! Lucky. He's coming. Detroit! Under 10. Watch him now, Barney. Check. All right, now, Lucky 56.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
The Raiders on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and a mile.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Watch him now, Barney.
They'll set up a throw. Try to lay one up deep. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th. 1:57 to go in this first half. We'll come back to Oakland after this. Here now, Johnny Townsend. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Good starting position for the Cowboys here as they come up 1st and 10.
Cut! 180! 12! Starting left here. Hey, 5!
From the gun, here's Goff. And this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
That was a terrific catch. I mean, to go up there and get it one-handed like that, but I almost want to go into that riff about back in my day, the gloves weren't quite like this.
When did gloves really become prevalent, just in general?
I think in the 80s. I think as we started to move through the 80s, especially as we got towards the latter part of that. But a lot of those were really like baseball batting gloves to begin with not much of a tacky area on the glove. In fact, there was none. I actually remember in cold weather games wearing the old scuba.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Cowboys add on. Bullock good on the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Caught left side, Williams. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now a handoff to Richard. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there. Second down. Wasn't able to get anything. No gain. Fumbled once already. Maybe he's being a little careful. Not necessarily on that play, but I'm sure that's in his mind somewhere.
Oh, without a doubt, because protecting the football is job one for anyone who's carrying it. And that's exactly what he tried to do on that play, but it didn't gain him any yardage.
They'll roll him out right. Pass incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. So it looks like the offense isn't going anywhere. They're going to go for it on 4th and 7.
Set. Green 39. Green 39. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Ship. 36. Rush in. Watch the edge.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And this is going to come up well short as they stop him on 4th down. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And Dallas, they'll take over in terrific field position. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
Super 66. Hey, check Mike 46.
Even with the good footwork, he'll be stopped just inside the 35. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. The coverage may be too good that time as he breaks away for 19 with his legs and a 1st down.
Here we go. Hey, Shell. Super 66. 5.
Now Goff on 1st down. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Jared Goff with his 3rd touchdown pass of the afternoon. And the Cowboys continue to pour it on. Extra point up and good by Bullock. And the route is on here in this first half. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's going to look deep down the field. He rifles one that's intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action. So we are at halftime here on Halloween as we send you cross-country to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3. This will be fielded at the 8. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. An update from Denver, and it's the Browns out to the early advantage. And we'll keep you abreast of how that one shakes out. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Go, son! 120! Check 5, check 5! Watch chicken 5! In your face! Kill!
Second half starts with a carry by Elliott. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be. But we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more.
And there's the first tackle of the game for Carl Joseph. He's one of those safeties that you can utilize in any way you want. But I will have to say, I think the number one thing he does best is tackle.
And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. He completes it to Julio Jones. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. And now before they run this play on 4th and 1, we're going to get a break and a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the 2nd half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back to the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out if that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Now let's go! 3-19! 3-19!
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. It's caught on the right side, Williams. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Here we go now! 3-19! 3-19!
Back to throw now on 1st down. Buying time to his left. And his throw here's incomplete. The tight end, Max Williams, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
Detroit! Detroit!
Looking to throw. Being chased out left. And he's going to go down again. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. False start's going to push him back, but these days, how hard must it be to be an offensive lineman?
It's very hard, Brandon. You've got defensive linemen flinching, trying to draw you offside. You've got the loud crowds, and there are just so many super athletic players on defense now that you have to deal with each week. But through it all, these guys just sit in there for 4 quarters and slug it out.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Now Brown. A good return there, 17 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. They start on the ground with Elliott. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Here's Goff now on 2nd down. He sets to fire deep. That's caught inside the 20. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. 4 touchdown passes now for Jared Goff. And the Cowboys add on.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up.
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working.
Detroit! 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 Detroit!
On play action, they'll throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he showcases the spin. A pretty good gain before he's taken down. Call it a pickup of 7, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. On the ground, Richard. A 2nd time. And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the 1st down, and that's exactly what he did.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90. Watch it now, Barney. Barney. Detroit. Detroit. Check safety. Check safety. Watch out. Watch out. Watch out. Watch out.
He'll look to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Detroit! Detroit! Gun! 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 Gun!
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Toward the sideline, he will have the 1st down. Good catch. He was able to keep the feet in bounds. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. From the midfield strike, they'll look to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Klein. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Steps away to his left. Got some real estate inside the 30. And all the way down to the 25-yard line. They've got another 1st down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now.
Detroit! Detroit!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to work his way down to the 16. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Back now in the East Bay. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair.
Lucky 56.
They're going to look to throw. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. David Irving in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Over the middle, complete. It's Mason. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the 1st. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Give him 7 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Let's go. And we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. Watch the blood.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
Well, as the play call comes in on 3rd down, you have to think about 4-down territory here. Down a few touchdowns, they need points, and they need big points.
Detroit!
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. And it's caught. And they got 3 yards. That's enough. A conversion, and now it's 1st and goal. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
Now, before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. It's a quarterback sneak. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. Only a yard on the sneak, not what he was hoping for, and it's 3rd down. They'll go with the keeper. And he's over the line and in for a Raider touchdown. It's their quarterback, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Raiders able to get this back to within at least some measure here of respectability. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. This defense starting to buckle down when they need to, and right now they're winning this fourth quarter, losing the game, but they're winning in the fourth quarter.
And what a fine line it is about what they're trying to get done, because they're down, so they obviously need the football, need a score, but they can't be so aggressive as to give up their edge, their gaps, and have the offense hit them with a big play.
It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave them with third and still 7 yards to go. Goff now looks to throw. Man open left side is Brown. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. So another score there. And often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching, and he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
So they are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. Bullock good on the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one taken from the 7. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Room to run past midfield. And he's going to get this into enemy territory at the 45. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he'll be taken down after a short gain as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. Now a handoff looking right. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Flush to his, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. DeMarcus Lawrence able to disrupt yet another pass play, his 3rd sack of the afternoon. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
Detroit! Detroit!
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. That's to his running back, complete. But they're going to wrap him up as he'll go down well short of a first. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Cowboys' defense is going to get them the football back. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. They'll start the drive with Elliott. Room to run inside the 40. And finally taken down at the 35-yard line. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Completes it right side to Cooper. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he's able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
And he's going to take this down to about the 17. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with this one. I struggle. But on the other, the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, getting the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And now here come the Raiders. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Cowboys, they remain one of the hottest teams out there as the win moves them to 6-1. And they will head home next week to take on the LA Chargers. Meanwhile, for the Raiders, it's yet another loss as they've started out now 0-7. And they'll try to get back on track next week as they head up to Orchard Park to take on the Buffalo Bills. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.